Rosa Camero has worked on over 100 releases, including the Twilight Saga, Divergent, and The Impossible. She also the founder of a successful marketing company, scaling her business internationally while living and working across Mexico, Spain, and Denmark. In this conversation, Rosa shares her extensive experience in the film industry, discussing her journey from film distribution to becoming a marketing consultant and producer. Rosa, thank you for being with us. Quite the pleasure. Where are you right now? Where are you usually based? I mean, I see you have a very nice background.
I have two kids. I have two girls that they are the ones doing all my art behind my wall.
Amazing.
And I have to say that this is on purpose. I have the art wall behind me because when I have calls, this is a very male-dominated industry. And you can find really not nice people, as I can say. And I have worked with them, so it's like you have to know, and I don't have to say it, but they know I have kids.
Yes.
So that's one of the reasons that I have the art. And obviously, I love my girls, and I love to have them. So that's why I have it. And I am based in Copenhagen, Denmark. I am originally from Mexico, but I've been living in Europe for the last 10 years. And I live in Spain as well, 3 years, from 2014 to 2017.
Great times, great years. But you chose Denmark, so...
Yes. So I have a Danish husband, and we had our first baby. She actually was born in Madrid, and we decided to move to Copenhagen because we had family here. So that's why, and I've been living here since then.
Amazing. So tell us a little bit more about your background. You are guiding people on how to distribute movies and films. How did you end up working in this industry?
Oh, okay. So I've been working in the film industry for 16 years now. And I started working, I am from Mexico, and I started working in a film distribution and production company in Mexico. It's quite big there. And I started with them when they started, like when they, kind of like when they opened. The same year they opened, I started working with them. And I met my old boss in a Twilight event where Robert Pattinson came to the city to promote the film. They didn't expect, they expected 300 people coming to the event, and they ended up with 3,000 girls. They were crazy about the Twilight. And I saw my future boss there, like he was like talking on the phone. He looked like very important. And I said, you know, and I was looking for a job. I was freshly out of the university. So I was looking for a job. I just approached and I said, I'm looking for a job. And he's like, we're looking for a marketing assistant. And I had an interview and I started working with them 1 week later. And I worked with them for 7 years. And then I met my now husband. He's from Denmark. And we decided to move to Europe. First, we moved to Spain. We lived in Madrid. I had a very difficult cultural shock in Madrid, even though we speak the same language.
Yeah.
And I tried to get a job in the film industry, and it's just, it's hard. I mean, they don't know you. They don't know who you are. It's like, and I thought that because I already had like a big experience and I work in a very huge films, it's like, of course I'm gonna find a job. I mean, they're lucky to have me. So that didn't happen. And that's when I decided to open my business. I started as a film distribution consultant. And then I noticed, and I did distribution actually. I did distribution in Spain, and I released films on film theaters, actually, theatrical. So I did theatrical. I did all the promotion, media, and the first problem that I face is filmmakers don't know how to market their film, and they don't care. It's like, you need to learn how to market your film. You need to learn how to do marketing, but it's like they are just worried about creating and producing and the talent. And what happened next? Then you make zero. That happened. That happened to me, to my business. I didn't have a very good business model because we were splitting in the theatrical, as that's the way it works. So you split the ticket sale, but why can you split if you make zero in theatrical or when selling the film? So then I decided, no, this is not working. I have to change business model. I just left the theatrical releases and I focused on marketing. So I did the marketing and I opened a marketing agency, a digital marketing agency, and I was very focused in marketing and online and building a brand and doing all this. Yes, look, using the cheapest ways to get yourself out there as a filmmaker or as a creative company, because I don't know, it's sometimes, or we have probably we have probably this block as a community that creatives are broke. The creatives don't have money, so we do everything we can to not spend money. And I was a lot of in that sense that they don't have the money. But you know what? This is a business. I mean, treat your business, treat your films as a business. And then I had the digital marketing agency, and I had my second baby. I had postpartum depression. I left the marketing agency. I didn't want to know anything about that business. And then I became business and marketing coach because I thought I was going to help creatives to be better in business. That didn't work. And also I missed so much working with films. And last year, I think not this time, but around September last year, I decided, I'm not happy with the professional decision I made. It was wrong. I want to go back to the film industry. I'm going to go all in that. But I'm going to add a little bit more, and I want to be a film producer. And what I did, I sold my services as a film producer with the expertise that I have in distribution and marketing. So amazing. I help producers and I help filmmakers to produce their films, but as well, at the same time, help them to sell their films and market their films, but very, very early stage, instead of waiting until they finish. So that's what I'm doing. That's a short version of what happened.
Very interesting, because definitely the industry is taking a turn, right? Like it feels that right now with a camera and all the editing skills, like everybody has resources, very approachable to build quality movies. So how do you see the industry evolving, considering like new ways of distribution are in place?
I think, this I don't say it myself, but I actually been in markets lately. I've been in film markets. I went to Midcom. I went to American Film Market just 2 or 3 weeks ago. And the same thing that comes up from distributors and people who's buying content is the industry is bleeding. They don't have the money. They want more content. They need more content to fit the audiences, because now it's like fast. Everything is fast. They want everything now. And like in 10 seconds later, they want something else. But they don't have the money, because it's very difficult to make money right now with content and films. So I definitely think we need to think as a collective how we can make films as well. And also at the same time, filmmakers can take more power into their hands, because it's like, I finish my film, then here is, and then I accept like very little money. Yeah. Very bad deals. They get nervous. They don't know how to sell. They believe if they don't say yes at that moment, they will lose the deal. And they make really, really bad decisions. So I definitely encourage filmmakers to take more power into their hands and learn the business side. Because yes, there's a turn. And as you said, right now with all the technology that we have in our hands, it's just easy to make films.
Yeah.
It's getting easier and easier. So it's like the one thing that will separate you from the rest of creatives, it's knowing your business and knowing how to sell and how to market.
So what's your process when you have to value a movie? What exactly needs to be taken in consideration, and how can you put a price into it?
So what do you mean? Like when you're distributing a film, or
Yeah, when you have the film and basically you're looking to sell the rights, how do you know what's the price?
don't have a price. That's the thing. The distributors put the price for your film. So they decide how much money they want to pay you, and you have to decide if you want to take it or not. So you don't have a product that can be priced at that stage. So it can be priced when you sell it to an audience. You can do that. But when you have a film and you want to offer it to distributors and sales agents, it's weird. Now that I'm thinking, it's not a business model that normally businesses have. It's like, I have a product, I put the price, you pay the price that I'm asking. Here is the other way around. I have a product and you decide how much money you want to pay me.
Which is interesting because usually, like, also on the other hand, filmmakers need to raise money, right? And how much is it transparent that how much do distributors know the money that they've been invested on the film to know what price to put in first place as an offer? It's interesting dynamics nonetheless. So how do you see like the independent filmmakers getting up speeds on getting their work up front?
What do you mean?
So like there's so many filmmakers independent that have been creating extremely quality good movies, but people like me or you don't get to even see it. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe you because you're in the industry, or if you don't go to some of these festivals, and what happens with that work, right? What other options they have, and I'm really sort of curious to know what's their current strategies for them to make themselves seen and their work.
This is a really good question. And actually, we need to question them. What are you doing to, like, for the next steps? Normally what happen is they want to keep creating and they move from one project to another. So what they do is like they produce, they forget. It's like, oh, they try a little bit, maybe a few months, maybe, or then they mention it once in a while, but they're already working in the second, third, fourth, fifth project. And sometimes they have many projects open at the same time. It's not only one, but it's like several projects. That's also, and they also say it themselves. It's like, because we don't know which project is going to be the one that's going to make the money, we need to focus on many projects at the same time. So from development, so the script and development to production. I think where you can find all these projects or having a bundle of projects is in development. And then they start applying to funds, they start applying, then maybe they raise funds, or maybe they have an investor. But that's the way that normally a creative or a filmmaker works. They go from project to project, wishing and thinking, oh, this is going to be the one. But they don't have a strategy when it comes to marketing and promotion and selling. I mean, if they have that strategy around business, they wouldn't need to be with so many projects. They could focus and they will know. I mean, I know I'm making this film and this film is going to get sold because I know my thing. I know how to do business.
Very interesting, because this is exactly your job right now, and I invite everybody who's listening to this to kind of navigate your website and listen to your other podcast. I mean, in very nutshell, summarizing everything, what do you mean by know how to market your movie? What does that imply?
It means, for me, that will be my process, and that's what I have applied and that's the way I help my clients to do it, is to have a solid brand. So at least online. So have a solid online brand, a professional website, trustworthy website where people can come and read about you and know about where you're working, and then your films in the same website. Because happens that you are the filmmaker, but then you separate from the rest of your films, and then you don't even know who is behind it. Like, I watched this amazing film, and it's about glazers, that I actually saw the documentary that you have in your platform. And it's about glazers, but we don't know who is behind. So that means if you attack projects, that will help you to get more pay gigs, more investors, more. I mean, people know who is behind. So that I always recommend that. And I also recommend be active on social media. I know people don't like social media, and especially creatives, they don't like it. They kind of like hate it. It's like a job that they don't want to do. But it happens as well on production, and it happens as well when you are producing a film. There are things that you do that they need to be done. It's the same. I mean, just take social media as part of all the things that you need to do to make your dream come true.
Yeah.
So that will be, I think, that will be, and then learning how to sell, how to negotiate, read a contract, read the contracts. It's not very difficult.
So it's interesting because, I mean, it happens that you need to know so many things, like how legally this works, how, like, not only just to make it, and if they're creators, definitely sounds like this must be an ugly part that they do not enjoy.
Yeah.
And my thinking was that there will always be external agencies that will do all this for them, but what's for me very interesting, as you said, is like content right now moves really fast. And it's an asset that, if does well, can like be a source of income for many years coming, as the rights move from hands to hands, and if attracts certain attention, or depends on certain topics. Some movies from 2016 might be again a blockbuster this year. So it's interesting, like the wave of the value of the asset in time. So for me, one of the things is like, somebody said to me, is like, well, what makes a movie a great movie? And first thing was, the obvious, entertainment. But one big differentiator is like if they have good actors or bad actors in it, as known actors or non-known. So it's just like for these filmmakers, like how they can transition from making a movie with unknown actors, and then get to pitch their movie so famous actors can be in it.
Wow. Okay, so that's a really good question. I think it's asking. I mean, you might think it's very difficult to get there, but for example, one of the films that I distributed in Spain, he wasn't a very well-known director, and he wanted someone from the Twilight Saga. It's not the A actor, so it's not like Kristen Stewart or Robert Pattinson, but there was like the brothers. I don't know if you have seen the films, but one of the brothers of the vampire. And he didn't have the money. The film is really cheap, really good quality. But the budget was not as exponential. And this actor actually said yes. He is in the film. He said, yes, I want to participate because one, he loved the script. And second, he wanted to do more films. It's like he wasn't doing a lot of films or independent films. So I think that you assuming that they're not going to work with you because they don't know you, that's just stopping you from maybe getting out there and having the contact. Something important and interesting that you said is you work with unknown actors right now, and then how do you get to the famous actors? But for me, that I've been working in the industry for 16 years and I have distributed films, it's just funny because I do a lot of marketing. I am on social media. And I go back to my films that I promoted or that I work with in the past. And then now I see, it's like, oh, wow, I didn't remember that she was in this film. And now she's super famous, or he is super famous. So they also get famous as well. And if you did a film with them and they get famous, then it's like you get to promote their films and you get to promote yourself. Like, I work with this guy, you know, or this lady.
That's amazing. No, I mean, for sure, right? It's a win-win. If the film goes well, then the actors play a big role. Definitely, one of the things I'm really interested in is like the industry seems to be quite opaque. Like there's not much transparency on what's going on, or you know, in the startups world, there's a lot of tools that and you can see how well a startup does and who's on board, but you never know who's behind, who owns the rights of what movies and all that. Do you think there's a reason why there's such opacity towards how the industry is doing deals?
Yeah, they said it's gatekeeper. There's gatekeepers. I think it's a lot about big egos and a lot of about envy, and I don't want other people to be in the same position as me. It's like it's a scare, you know. It's like afraid of someone else gonna come and gonna take my place. But that's not the way it works. I mean, if you win, I win, and I have helped you. You will help me, or someone else will help me. Like in the future, I do believe that, and I am a great believer in that kind of philosophy, where if you help and you connect, someone else will come and connect you with someone else. But I think it's also, and from experience, I have worked with many assholes, and they shouldn't be where they are right now, but they are, and that's very sad. So
Yeah.
probably that's one of the reasons that it's not transparency in the industry. But I think that's changing little by little with all these tools. That actually I was going to tell you that I also have it's very, very early stage. It's an AI film marketing and distribution assistant. And this
that's
is
very
also
smart.
this is also I have created this to help filmmakers and film producers to find their way, you know, to find their way in the business side and the distribution side. And if they don't have, there's no excuse anymore of, oh, it's just I don't have the money to hire the marketing consultant. I don't have the money to hire the entertainment lawyer. This is not, by all means, not a law or a lawyer tool, or it will never be replaced by humans. But it's a step forward into this promotion and marketing and getting into better places for their films.
Yeah, I think AI, it plays a big role in many ways of being like a helper, and I can totally see like these assistant towards, you know, the path as because another thing like can partially take part of that job that you don't enjoy, like, or the financing, or so definitely there is a lot of space there for improvement, and I think we'll see a lot of solutions in the upcoming years. You know, I was thinking like the catalogs that exist today. There's people that decide what gets to be distributed through their streaming platform and what doesn't. But a lot of films that I love, they haven't got a chance to be distributed anywhere. And I'm thinking, how much am I fed with sensationalism films and less about something that stimulates me intellectually? Or how do you think this is going to come into a balance where we have more options beside what they decide to stream or they don't?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really, really good question, because right now it's like a very narrow neck bottle. I mean, all the films are here, and then it's like 3, 4, it's like very little. It's like just come in there, like one, and then they decide what you can watch and what you cannot. So I think the secret to that is one, find better business models, and that's something that we should be obsessed with when it comes to creativity and filmmaking. Like, find a better business model for your film and for your business. How are you gonna make your film be seen by others? But that doesn't mean that you need to give it for free. So that means that you need to charge for it, because more money for your film means more money for you and for your future projects. So finding new business models, marketing, promotion, promote. If you don't have the money to hire someone, do it yourself. Learn it. Learn to love it. It's like the shed sandwich. That's the shed that you don't wanna do, but you need to eat it because you love what you do.
That's a good analogy. Yeah, like I think, Rosa, because you said we're tight on time here. This is a very good of wrapping up like a conversation. What is like the main advice that you have for filmmakers in the industry when they start interacting with you?
My advice, I think, well, I already said it, but I will say it again. Your film is attached to you, not the other way around. You need to take advantage of the film that you're making, and you need to promote it, and you need to be that's yours. So don't be afraid of going out there and telling to everyone, that's my film, I produced it, I made it, and I'm proud of it, and hire me and buy my film.
That's incredible. That's a good one, because like definitely that the work speaks for itself, but like who's behind it's also like, the mastermind of that film. You gotta tell us right now, what are your favorite films? We've been speaking so much about films right now that like
favorite films. I don't know. I haven't thought about that in a long time. I think something I come back. It's very cheesy, super cheesy. Something that I come back and I watch again and again is Flashdance from the 80s.
That's nice.
I like it.
It has a good vibe.
And I love the dancing, all the dance. I like the dancing, and not musical per se, but dancing films where the actors and talent dance. I love it. Like Step Up. I love those films as well. But that's because I was a dancer when I was small. Probably that's why. And other films, I have watched so many films and really good films during my career that I can see from very independent documentaries to action and blockbusters. So there's so many good things out there that I cannot choose.
Fair enough. We will keep it. And any books you recommend for anybody to get more familiar with the industry that like have sparked some inspiration?
You won't believe I haven't read any book about the film industry. I am good reader. I like it. I like to read. I have, but I have read a lot of books about money.
Yeah,
money. So that's attached. I recommend that you read. You read about money. If you're bad with money and you feel like money is not coming to you, then you can read Money. One of the books that I have read is Chillepreneur. That's like being chill and being a entrepreneur, and then also money coming in. I have to say, and I'm very open about it, also with my community, I had really serious problem with asking for money and then working for free. And when I started working in my money mindset and the money blogs and all these things, it changed. So yeah, it's not about filmmaking, but it's something useful for your film career. That's for sure.
Yes. No, it's good angle. Good angle. But maybe you should start on a book, and
maybe you can recommend me one.
Like literally every time I make this question, the answer is the same. There's no books about entertainment whatsoever.
You know what? There's one that I recommend to all creatives. Is the Artist Way. Mm-hmm. So it's about it is about Artist Way. I don't remember even the author, but I can send it to you. And that's something for creatives where you can find yourself it's like a spiritual mindset, creativity, and is
Nice.
and this is for this the author is a film director, and she used to be, oh, she is, I don't know, she a professor in a university in the US. That's a really good way. It's called The Artist Way.
We will list it here. The Artist Way. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you so much for your time. It was really a pleasure spending some time talking. You have an amazing energy, and you do spark a lot of positivity. And I can understand why, like, guiding filmmakers can be quite of a fun job doing it with you. We
you.
will link all where you could be found and how they can follow you. And hopefully we will have another chat soon, because there's so much to talk about. I think we covered just like the little surface of everything else that is for us
We
to
just
talk.
scratched the surface. Yeah,
Yes.
let's get together again.
Thank you. And my regards. If you ever come to Barcelona, please ping us. If I ever make my way to Denmark, I'll definitely
Yes,
ask you for a
please.
coffee.
Yes, let's get together. Let's meet each other. And thank you so much for the opportunity and for having me.